Hey guys, so I wanted to do something a little bit different today, and actually this is something that I did a couple days ago. It's a battle against a passerby, and I kind of decided I wanted to make that into its own series on my channel here. So it's going to be called Passerby Pummeling just because passerbys usually don't win, despite the fact that they usually also carry like Mega Mewtwo and all of that good stuff. But I wanted to feature this particular battle first because it's a battle I had the other day, and this passerby had a team that is actually reasonably normal. You might see this in a normal competitive match. So I kind of figure he's probably better than most passerbys, but let's find out. Let's go into the match. Alright, here comes the winner. That's actually a bit presumptuous, don't you think? I mean, we've only just begun the fight. Regardless though, I'm gonna lead with my Raichu, and he's gonna lead with his Cofagrigus. Now, he's gonna switch out immediately, predicting an electric move, Thunder Wave, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, something, but that's not actually what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go for the knockoff straight away, so I wanted to get rid of that thing's leftovers recovery and go for some super effective damage, but knocking off the Bright Powder from the Crocodile is pretty good too. Bright Powder. That's passerbys for you. Anyway, so I go into my Slowbro on the Switch, and he sets up his Stealth Rocks, which is alright, I guess, but he then switches out and goes back to his Cofagrigus, so it's not really going to take much from Scald. Admittedly, the Scald was pretty obvious, but what are you going to do? So, now that this thing's taken its damage, I'm just going to switch out, and I'm actually going to go into my Arcanine here. Now, that might seem like a bit of a strange play, but like I said before, I want to get rid of this thing's leftovers recovery. I basically want all the damage that it takes to count, you know, but it's gonna set up the Trick Room here, you know, on my Switch, and then he's just gonna switch out because, you know, maybe he wants to keep his leftovers recovery or something. Maybe he is just kind of afraid of what I'm gonna do. Regardless though, the Crocodile comes out, but it actually takes the burn on the Switch, which is pretty nice because now that thing is not going to be able to do any damage to anything. Because I'm gonna switch out here and just go into my Blastoise, and he's gonna go for the knockoff here, and I feel like that was pretty obvious. That's why I went into my Blastoise, because that way it can't get rid of any items because my Blastoise is holding the Mega Stone, and I'm actually gonna Mega right now and just go for the Water Pulse. Now, since this thing is burned and he's managed to get his rocks up, there really wasn't much reason for my opponent here to keep it around, so he's just gonna leave the Crocodile in for dead, and that's good for me. So, he actually goes out into Meta Knight. That's awesome. I like that name. But, I'm just gonna rapid spin the rocks away, so that's good, because at this point I'm thinking the rocks are gone for good, you know, and he's gonna get some of that leftovers recovery, and I'm actually not going to go for the Water Pulse. I'm gonna go for the Dark Pulse, probably predicting a switch, but he's gonna stay in and go for Iron Head, which I don't honestly understand, but maybe that's... I don't know. I don't understand why you would go for Iron Head when there are better moves to use against Blastoise, because it resists it. Anyway, at this point he realizes that he should be going for anything else, switches up to X-Scissor, and that is going to take out my Blastoise. So, I am just going to switch here. Well, obviously I have to switch, but I'm going to go into Garchomp, which is not bad. You know, I'm going to go for a Sword Stance here, and then he's gonna do a pretty good amount of damage to me with Iron Head, but Garchomp is faster than most things, and regardless, since he has to do physical damage to me, he's going to go down to my Rocky Helmet Rough Skin combo. Anyway, so he comes out with the Greninja now, and that's unfortunate because I took that damage for nothing. I could have just attacked it and left my Garchomp at full health. But I'm going to go out into my Slowbro now, and he's just going to take this chance to Ice Beam because, you know, if he can get rid of my Garchomp, that is a huge threat out of the way for him. But the Ice Beam isn't going to do anything to my Slowbro, and now I'm predicting him to switch it up to Dark Pulse, so I go out into my Amoonguss, and sure enough, he goes for the Dark Pulse, and since Amoonguss is a pretty good specially defensive wall, it's not really going to do anything. Now, I thought that I would be able to take an Ice Beam, albeit badly, but as you can see, that doesn't happen, and I just go straight down. So, I'm gonna go out into my Raichu here, and he is going to switch, making the prediction that I'm going to use an electric move again. And he's gonna go out into Texas. But I actually go for the fake out, just trying to potentially break any focus sashes or anything like that. But it's okay. So at this point, I'm just gonna keep going for knockoff, and that knocks this thing out. So that's pretty good. But now he's actually going to go back into Greninja, and I was pretty surprised that I outspeed. I mean, I am timid max speed with this Raichu, but at the same time, Greninja is pretty much in a speed tier all its own. But that thing too, that Greninja must be modest as opposed to timid like my Greninja is. Anyway, I was thinking here that since it was paralyzed that I would be able to just one-shot the thing with a Dragon Club, but that's not the case, and I just go straight down to an Ice Beam. So that is unfortunate. That didn't need to happen at all. So I'm just going to go out here to my Arcanine, and at this point, I suppose there really wasn't... I suppose I didn't really need to go for Extreme Speed. Well, at the same time, it's Flare Blitz or Extreme Speed, so... But actually, now that I think about it, Flare Blitz would have done super effective damage because I would have gone first since the thing was paralyzed. But that doesn't matter either because the thing went down, and he comes out with his Copper Regis, and he's going to protect, and that's... I'm not going to be able to do anything, but then I get the Will-O-Wisp off, so finally... Much later in the match, I finally get rid of this thing's recovery with leftovers as he sets up the Trick Room. So there isn't really much need for that, I guess, but I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking. But he's gonna go for the Hex here. I mean, sure he's going first, but that's not really getting him anything. Either way, though, I'm just gonna go straight back to full health because he can't burn me. These things usually like to carry Will-O-Wisp and Hex so that they can burn you and then do more damage, but since I'm Fire-type, I can't get burned. So he's just gonna go out into Dragonite on my Flare Blitz, which is cool because that thing is going to break the multiscale, and now his only chance to win here is to set up a couple Dragon Dances and try and steamroll my team, but I get the Will-O-Wisp off, so that is basically null and void. He has no chance now. So I'm just gonna switch out here into my Slowbro because since this Dragonite is not at full health, it's not going to be able to withstand an Ice Beam. So this thing gets, it takes more burn damage, and the twisted dimensions go back to normal. He's got 2 dragon dances up, but since he's burned, that's only returned his attack, to normal, and I'm gonna hit him with an ice beam, and that is just going to demolish him. Now, the Dragonite goes down, and I get some health back from my leftovers, eating that apple core, and here comes the Cough Egregious again, and he's just gonna run there because, like I said, he couldn't win. So there it is, the first episode of Passerby Pummeling. If you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe because I'm going to continue to bring lots of stuff, and I'm definitely going to go back to the regular Wi-Fi battles and such tomorrow, actually. But I don't know, I think I might bring one of these videos a week just because it's something a little bit different. You know, you get to see how I fare going against teams of stuff that far outclasses what I've got, although admittedly Passerbys probably also aren't going to have pretty good IVs and EVs and stuff. They're probably just bringing legendaries and stuff. Regardless, though, it's all in good fun, you know? I actually have another new series in mind, which is going to be pretty cool, I think. I just need to work out how exactly I'm gonna do it. But that's not for now, that's for the future. In the meantime, you guys, have a good one.